more on this, we're joined by Nader Hashemi, Director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Denver. And he is joining us live from Istanbul. Mr. Hashemi, always good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. So how much pressure would you say Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is under right now?
Well, I think he's probably facing a nightmare that he never could dream of before. This is the complete, I think, undermining of everything that he has stood for and pursued as the effective ruler of Saudi Arabia. He's now become, a pariah figure in the international community. Saudi Arabia has spent billions of dollars trying to build up his reputation as a new visionary leader, and now all of that has effectively been flushed down the toilet by this apparent assassination attempt that he has overseen. So he's under a tremendous amount of pressure, not just globally, but I expect within the House of Saud right now, there must be deep divisions and debates over whether he can be the future leader of Saudi Arabia, given the role that he has played in generating this crisis that has put Saudi Arabia under a spotlight that we haven't seen since 9/11.
But does it matter, the pressure that he's under that we've spoken about, what world leaders are saying, what they might not say, how many people, companies pull out of this investment event? If the US government doesn't, if it stands by him?
Well, I think that's what he's hoping for, and I think that's what he calculated on, that he could get away with this crime and the U.S. government would stand behind him. We have to remember that the U.S. government is not simply Donald Trump and Jared Kushner. The Congress has a lot of say in terms of U.S. foreign policy, in terms of arms expenditures. There is an important role that, civil society plays in shaping American foreign policy. And I think that's what's really driving the global outrage toward this event. So Donald Trump is under a lot of pressure himself, and I don't think he's going to be able to bail the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia out of this one. I think this is simply viewed by many people around the world as a bridge too far. Saudi Arabia is now viewed as a rogue nation that is generating global instability. And so I don't think, Trump, despite his preference to try and save the Crown Prince, will be able to rescue him.
And what about Turkey and President Erdogan, given this did happen on Turkish soil? They do have leverage. They have an audio recording, a video recording. I mean, what will they want out of this Saudi delegation that's arrived in Ankara?
I suspect they're going to try and leverage the information that they have that incriminates the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the government of Saudi Arabia to, get concessions on a whole host of regional issues. I think, number one, the question of the deep financial crisis that Turkey is facing right now. They'll try and leverage the information they have to get concessions on that front. But also, I think, the blockade that Saudi Arabia has imposed on Qatar, I suspect that is going to be subject of negotiations, and there's going to be demands that if Saudi Arabia wants to find a way out of this, that they have to lift the siege on Qatar. So I think those are two issues that immediately are going to be on the bargaining table, and it remains to be seen whether an agreement can be reached.
Mr. Hashemi, thank you very much. That is Nader Hashemi live in Istanbul. We're going to go to Leah now because you're monitoring reaction online. What are people saying on day 10, Leah?